Hi everyone, this is Ivan. This is the second part of the video about the testing on REST API. So in this video, we'll be talking about mocha and char cell, using it to test the REST API. And mocha is a feature-rich JavaScript test framework running on Node.js, and it can actually do asynchronous testing. It is also combined with char, especially to make it as a BDD format. The BDD format is a behavior-driven development, similar like Cucumber, if you guys have used it. It makes it easier for your teammates and you to collaborate on the test cases to understand it faster. Alright, a test case example is, for example, you can actually have, for example, I want to find the sum of 2 plus 2 equals to 4. So you have this thing, eat or describe. Right, and then for the validation of the result, you just put as expect bracket result close bracket should be equal to 4. So this is the result itself, and this is the expected result. And with this format, there are also several other similar BDD formats in different variants, which is pretty easy to understand. This actually enables your teammates and you to work faster on the test script for the API testing. So first you have got to go to this to install mocha and char. You got to have the node set up. So you go to this website, right? And this is the website. Right. So you download it according to your platform. I'm using Mac, but there's equivalent for Windows. And then after that, just give a check that you have actually got the node installed by keying this. Right, mine is currently at this version. Same with the npm. Yours will definitely be newer than this video. And if you have managed to get the node installed, the node usually comes with the npm. The next step is to install the mocha. So do it this way. Follow exactly npm dash install dash g for global mocha. Right. If it actually fails, look at those dependencies in mocha sites, and then install those dependencies first. And then you can go back to the npm dash install dash g mocha. And finally, when you actually manage to get it done on this, install the char as the last step. So it's npm dash install dash char. So pause the video, get it installed, and then we'll continue on at this session. Thank you. Okay, if you have managed to install the mocha, char, and npm, we can actually move on to this session. If you have not, please look at the respective website on how to install the packages. So for uh, creating the test case, we first have got to have the app itself. So today we will just do the very simple calculation app using JavaScript. So I'm turning on to my terminal. Okay, I'll create the file first. Right, I'll create this file called cal.js. I'll make the directory. Right, so this is my test directory. So basically I have got this cal.js and the test itself, and I will initialize the npm. So the .init npm.init is to create the package.json in the directory. When we actually send out this command, the package.json actually can include the nodes modules, which you may be using it later. and it is also pretty useful. For example, you can actually call out the testing script itself from the package.json. Right, let's do it. Let's enter everything for default. Okay, so here we have. Right, let's clear the screen, and let's open up the file in here. Okay, so I'm going to create the calculation app. In here we will have create the sum of two numbers, two integers, and also the average of an array. So let's create a sum. Bar sum equals to two integer a plus b. Alright, let's see if this works first. 3. That should be 4. Right. Note and the file name. I did not save. Alright, let's try again. Note and the file name. 4. Right, perfect. It's working. Okay, so now let's do the average. The average could be an array of a number. So let the total equals to 0, and we do a for loop. The length of the array, and we return the total divided by the length of the array. Okay, let's test this out. Right, so let's test this out. Oops. So I forgot to actually input the array. So yes, let's create the array. Okay, so it should be working. 4. Alright, so average is 4, which is correct. Okay, so we want to actually to test it out in mocha. So to test it out, we need to actually export it, and we need to export two functions, the sum and the average. Right. Let me comment this out first so that it will be less confusing. Right. To export a function out, let's do this. Okay, so that will do. Similarly for this. Alright. Okay, so alright, this concludes for our part for this very simple apps, the calculate.js, and we will be moving on next to test this the sum function, the sum methods, and the average. So now we are going to test our calculation application. Right, let's go to the terminal or your command prompt. Let's go to this folder, the test folder. Right, let's create a file. Okay, the file is in here. So the cal-test.js will be the mocha file that will test your cal.js. Right. So let's open this. Right. So this is the file. Okay. So First, we've got to define what are the modules that we need to import. Right, first is the char. We'll import the char first. And then the second is BDD. Right, this BDD is part of char. So okay, then let's the num array be string 3. Okay, now we can start writing the test script itself. So first we can actually describe the test itself, the main test objective. Right, so this arrow bracket. Okay, and then the first test case is that we are going to test the sum. Right, you check if 2 plus 2 equals to 4. And I expect the results that come from the calculator. I've actually got to define the calculator. So where is the calculator? So the calculator is in the upper directory, which means that I've got specified 2 dots. Okay, so let's come back to here. So now I have the calculator. Okay, actually put it in here, and it is the sum. So sum, right, what is it equal? Is equal to be 4, 2 plus 2 to be equal 4. Okay, so let's try out. Alright, we will try out mocha and calculate the test. Yes, it passed. Okay, so the first one actually works. Now let's try the second one. The second one is the average. Check if average of array is 4, and it's the same format, so I expect it to be average num arrays to be equal to 4. Okay, let's see if this is running. Okay, so both test cases are running. So what happens if I change this? This is the expected results. So let's say that if we think that the expected result is 5, there should be an error, just to make sure that it is working in there too. Okay, good, it's working in there too. So this is the test case as how we usually write for the mocha and char to test on Node.js, and with this we can actually move on to test the REST API.